Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is just my second video on YouTube ever. This is a March 2023 garden tour of my backyard. We are in North Texas, Zone 8A, and interestingly we live backing up to a creek, like a watershed. So we have this beautiful backdrop of trees in our backyard that we will never lose. So we love that. In 2020 we added this patio because our backyard is extremely sloped and it was just lots of dirt and mud for years and years and years. We finally added this patio and we love it. Such a great investment. And added this garden area here, and it's been a journey. It's kind of a different ecosystem in and of itself, so it's been a journey trying to figure out what will survive here. So I will start first with more mums, as you saw in my front garden. These were added, I don't know, 2-3 years ago, and they come back every year. They kind of just border this grass right here, and that one is always huge and grows into the back area there, but these two, they do pretty well, so I like them. If you can see these sticks, that is my limelight hydrangea. This was transplanted. I had this guy in a big pot that was sitting right where my peonies are growing, and I transplanted him in the fall, and he's leafing out. He's doing amazing. I'm excited. I've gotten a couple babies from this limelight, and it's just gonna, let's see, it is maybe, this will be its third season, so I'm really happy with it. It's one of my favorite plants. Growing here, you'll see my daffodils. These are their second year. For whatever reason, I'm getting buds that are about to bloom, but they're not blooming. They're not coming out of the bud form. They're just dying before they can do that, and I have no idea why. So if you have any idea, this is a full sun garden bed. Leave me a note in the comments and let me know what your thoughts are on that. You see a bunch of, these are not weeds. If anybody wants to take a guess, these are cosmos seedlings. I planted some cosmos seeds in this area in the summertime, and they came up with these beautiful orange cosmos. I collected seeds, gave them to neighbors. I hadn't really planned on growing these orange cosmos again. I have red cosmos that I'm gonna try this year, but these guys are trying to come up, and I'm gonna probably pull them out because I have other plans here, but my neighbor definitely wants them, so she's gonna take them and plant them in her garden when I get ready to pull these guys up. There's some dead leaves. If you look right there, that is a Confederate star jasmine. Oh, I have a love-hate relationship with Confederate star jasmine. We have tried them now 3 years in a row. We cannot get the vines to stay alive. We're in Zone 8A. They're supposed to be evergreen in Zone 8A. This is a tough spot for them, I guess, but we cannot keep them alive, the vine alive, in the wintertime. It has died down to the roots. I'm pretty sure it's still alive at the root or at the base, but it is dead. It's a little frustrating. Over here, this is a peony. I believe this one was, I will put the name of that on the screen. But a friend gave this to me for my birthday in October, and it's coming up, and it's so pretty. I'm very excited. I've never grown peonies before, so this is kind of a trial to see if a peony will survive in that particular spot. Again, there's the dead leaves and the base. That's another Confederate star jasmine plant that I could not get to survive. I've got quite a few of them, so just bear with me. I've got some potted plants here. These are limelight cuttings. When I trimmed back my limelight hydrangea just about, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, I got the idea from another YouTube channel, Soil and Margaritas. I can link her YouTube channel below because she has a lot of limelight hydrangeas, and she was able to propagate them just by basically taking her cuttings and letting them dry for about a week in the open air and then sticking them in dirt. And let's see, a couple of these guys are budding up with some fresh growth. They do not have roots, but I have others potted elsewhere that I will show you that I have budding up like crazy. Here is my rosemary plant that I am going to shape into like a ball topiary, but multiple levels. So he stayed evergreen all winter long. I got it last summer for, I don't know, $2.50 at Home Depot, and it's grown really well. I really do love it, and I think it's going to be beautiful when it's shaped into the topiary. This is my desert rose, or adenium, if I got that right. It has pink flowers, one of my favorite potted plants. I bring this guy in the wintertime, and I have put it out because our temperatures are pretty good. We're about to get close to freezing tomorrow evening, and the next evening I'll probably bring him back in for that. He doesn't like it anywhere under 40 or so degrees, but otherwise does really well. I've got fresh growth, if you can see, quite a few. By the way, bandage on the hand. I lifted a glass vase 2 days ago and had to get 2 stitches because the glass vase broke on me, so I apologize, but that's what is on my hand, if you're wondering. But very excited about this guy. He gave me some seed pods, and I was able to get 1 baby plant from it. This, you can see it doesn't have the bulb at the base that it normally would. It's because it was a cutting. I got it mistakenly at Home Depot. It was labeled as something different, like a diplodenia, I think is what it was labeled as, and I brought it home and then figured out this is a desert rose, but it was a cutting of one. So that's why it doesn't have the huge bulbous base that this plant is famous for. Over here is my blue agave plant. I'm going to probably transplant it into that pot right there that has strawberries in it, because I think it would look really pretty with the blue pot. But a neighbor gave this to me. It was one of her babies, and so I got it for free. And when I got it last year, it was very tiny. It was mowed over even, so it didn't even have the tips of its leaves. It was just all cut, and it's grown. This guy has been so tough. Speaking of tough, this huge aloe that's already been cut away, and these are its babies. I just didn't have room to bring them inside this year, so I left them out in a corner, covered up in my patio, and they just did not survive. The babies maybe will survive, but the big guy, sorry. Garden fail. But I did not have room for this guy. It was massive and I couldn't bring it inside. So going back into the garden space, again, that's the Confederate Star Jasmine. This vine right there is invasive from the creek area. It wants to creep in every opportunity it gets. I will have to go in and cut those out because they are very thorny and they hurt. Down here, there's some twigs. You can't see them. It's supposed to be 3 lavender plants. I cut them back. I see a teeny tiny bit of green growth, but I think they died. I'm not sure. I think they should be coming back by now. This is my first chance growing lavender, but I think I killed them. I think they died in the winter. I'm not sure. It's English lavender though. Here is my Texas sage plant. We had quite a super drop in temperatures in December. It went from like 80 degrees because it was incredibly warm one day to like 15 degrees in a matter of 24 hours. And it did a number on a lot of the plants. I think that's why the jasmine died, and even the Texas sage, which is super, super tough plant, it almost fully defoliated, and every single one of them in the neighborhood is exactly the same. But it is coming back. Lots of fresh green growth. It's gonna flush itself back out, but it'll just take a little time, I guess. All right, trying to walk slowly. Okay, here is purple echinacea starting to wake up, and yes, I've got some weeds coming. I need to mulch. I've got some leaf litter, which isn't the worst thing. I think I might just put mulch right over the leaf litter, but I know there's some work to be done, but this is life, y'all. This is life. So I don't know if you can see this. Do you see that baby plant right there? That is a little quickfire hydrangea that I found on clearance online, and they shipped to me, and it was itty bitty, but it is starting to wake up. I've never seen it bloom, but I'm getting excited, so that's exciting. Okay, so backing up, here is another sunshine ligustrum. I have a hedge of them in my front yard. I was gonna let this guy get big, but I think it's gonna overtake. It's especially gonna overtake the yeah, there's a little toy down there from my kids. That's fun. But it's gonna overtake that little quickfire really quickly. So I think I'm gonna have to give that one a little trim, even though it's getting some new growth. I don't want it to be so big. So another Confederate Star Jasmine, super problematic. I'm done with them. Okay, so here's some more pots. Again, I have strawberries in here, quinault and seascape, and they survived the winter really, really well. And I'm gonna take them out. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put them quite yet, but I'm gonna put the blue agave in this container because I love that. I think that will look really nice. Here's one of those strawberry babies. Not proven winners, guys. It's just one of the proven winners containers. But one of the babies that was created last year that I never potted up, and it's fine. And then another baby is down there that I put down there. I mean, I didn't expect them to survive the winter, but they're super tough, I guess. Again, this is my first time growing strawberries. So we've got some more strawberries here and my little donkey, and we've got strawberry flowers and baby strawberry right there. So cute. Problem with this plant is the strawberries just stay really tiny like this. I'm not sure why. If you know, please let me know in the comments. I don't know. All right. Down here, we've got eggshells because I was trying to keep the snails last season away from this guy. The purple echinacea. He's just starting to wake up. So another echinacea. There's another one right there that's really doing well. And another one right there. So I've got 3 right there in that area together. I've got another Texas sage, again, almost completely defoliated, but lots of new growth, so it'll be fine. Another Confederate Star Jasmine that the vine did not survive. It's alive at the root. Okay, and then, so backing up a little bit, this is kind of one of the focal points of our backyard. This is actually a fountain that my husband created, and my Ferris wheel that I got for Mother's Day last year that does not have any plants in it. A little bit challenging because it's hard to keep these guys watered enough if they're like annual plants. So I think I'm gonna put succulents in there this year and see how that goes. It doesn't need as much water. This guy, well, you see Mr. Weed, but this sticks. That's actually my Midnight Marvel hibiscus I bought last year as well. Super excited about that, but it has not woken up yet. And then this is the basin that the water goes into, and by it we have canna lilies. They're yellow and red. We have them on each side, and they grow up, because it's about 4 feet down there, but they grow up all the way and frame the sides of the fountain here. So we like that. All right, over here we have 4 trellises. Again, Confederate Star Jasmine was on these trellises, and I pulled them out. They are actually here. I cut them down. I put 2 of them in this red pot and 1 each in these, I think, 5-gallon pots. And I'm gonna grow them and then probably maybe sell them and try to recoup some of my lost money on these guys. They're alive at the base, like I said, but the vines just die and I'm done. So we are replacing them with 4 of these Tangerine Beauty cross vines, which I found at Green Acres, $12.50 for a 1 gallon. It's an awesome price. And these will be evergreen, or should be, through the winter time, and the vine will definitely survive throughout the winter. So we've got 4 of those that are gonna go in there, planted in the ground. Just haven't done that yet. And then we've got the side yard, which for 13 years has been nothing but weeds and maybe grass and dirt. And I planted this up last spring with a hydrangea hedge, mop head hydrangeas or hydrangea macrophilia, because this is a most like the morning sun, afternoon shade type of environment. This area actually gets almost full sun, definitely part sun, almost full sun environment here. But as we go further that way, that's where I have 6 hydrangeas that I purchased and planted, and those are waking up as well. So I will show you what is down here. This one is another peony, and again, I don't remember the name. So I will put the name on the screen for you. But another boxwood. They got nipped a little bit because there was green growth in December when we had 80-degree temperatures, and then we had that huge temperature decline, and it really kind of nipped all that green growth. But it's okay, we've got lots of new stuff starting. These are daylilies that I have not seen flower yet because they were bare roots last year. So it was just trying to get established last year, and now there's 3 different plants there. And I'm excited to see those hopefully bloom. This is a rose mallow that a neighbor gave me. Not woken up yet. Hopefully it will. And thus starts the first of the 6 hydrangeas that I've always wanted a hydrangea hedge, but never had the opportunity. And I'm super excited about this. Last year they were blooming when I planted them. They were gorgeous. And so I'm excited to see the second year for these guys. And then they're going to grow and grow and become an absolute hedge of hydrangeas. So it's going to be beautiful. And they are the Endless Summer variety as well. All right. That about concludes my March 2023 backyard. Oh, I forgot to talk about these guys. Okay. Sorry about that. Last thing, here's all of the cuttings from my Limelight hydrangea. Again, I just had dirt here, so I just stuck them in dirt. And then these guys were starting to show growth like really early on. So that's got a ton of leaves coming out. Again, they're not rooted, but they're alive. They're growing new leaves. This one has the potential to be quite the standard. It's just a straight stick. And so if I can get that one going, that's fantastic. And then we've got, this one was showing it was alive as well, so I potted it. And these guys are now coming alive as well. So it's incredible. I think almost 100% of them are growing leaves without roots and are still alive after cutting them 6 weeks ago. So super fun, super exciting. There's lots of new things coming for our backyard. Oh, and here's my seedlings. I will do a seedling tour some other time. I'm growing all kinds of things. I'm super excited, but that's for a whole other video. And then there's one other area. Here's the kids' stuff. One other area on our patio that's also kind of exciting, but again, will be its own video. I have a worm farm and some composting going on, but I will show you the worms some other time and how I'm doing that. And I'm going to be creating vermicompost for my own, so that's going to be fun. All right, well, thank you for joining me in my backyard garden tour. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel and leave me any comments or questions. Bye-bye.